Have you reached a point in your story where everything just feels stagnant, where your protagonist, despite all your best efforts, just doesn't seem to grow or change? And your story just feels like it doesn't have that moment to make it feel satisfying. If you're nodding yes right now, then you're probably missing a key ingredient to any satisfying story, and that is the dark moment, aka the core of your story's conflict. This isn't just another obstacle or setback. This is a key pivotal moment that forces your character to confront their greatest fears and misbeliefs. It's about crafting a crisis so personal, so uniquely tailored to your protagonist that it feels like the world has ended for them. So let's unpack how you can create a dark moment that is not only transformative, but also unforgettable.
Why does your story matter? Good question. What if I told you that there's a science behind every great story? I don't just teach you how to write. I teach you how to change the world with your story and make your author dreams come true.
Before we get into this discussion of the dark moment, I want to ask you to take a quick second to hit the subscribe button below this video. Not only does it help my content rise to the top, but also makes sure that you never miss a new video from me or live training or special event as we explore writing and publishing together. So make sure you're subscribed and let's get into this discussion. First big question, what is the dark moment? This is basically the moment that bridges the gap between your character living in their misbelief, living in their lie, their fatal flaw, and realizing the truth in their aha moment. It's the rock bottom moment that your character finds himself in when there is no way out but up. There is no going back to the way they were before when the story began. But here's the kicker. It has to be unique to your protagonist. It can't just be a bad thing that will be bad if it happened to anybody. It has to have specific, unique meaning to them because of their misbelief, because of everything they've been through so far. That's the only thing that is going to shake up their world and force them to see that they have been believing a lie this whole time. The disaster might not be their fault, but their misbelief will keep them down there at rock bottom if they don't accept a truth, a new awareness of something, and move forward. Because when a character fights their way out of this darkness, that's where the magic happens. That's where the transformation takes place. The journey to the aha moment isn't just about overcoming obstacles. It's about internal change. And internal change is all about letting go of beliefs. Something that is extremely difficult to do because we are literally hardwired not to do this. Why are deeply held beliefs so hard to let go of? Because they are woven into the fabric of who we are. They are part of our identity. Our past is what made us who we are today. And it doesn't necessarily have to be some traumatic childhood event that happened to your character. Maybe it's just a slow affirmation over time. Something that they thought was true and then was reaffirmed as true to them again and again and again. Remember, a small persistent drip can drill a hole through rock over time. And this isn't just a personal belief for you. It's a belief you have about the world. Okay, it's a belief your character has about the world. Let's say their trust was betrayed in the past. Their friend betrayed them and they thought, I can't trust this person anymore. It wasn't just that I can't trust this person, it's that people can't be trusted. See the difference? Your character's misbelief is different from their fear in that it has not just changed the way that they see themselves, it's changed the way they see the world. And the dark moment forces your character to confront these beliefs because it brings them to a rock bottom moment. They need to be at this point of crisis in order for something to shift, in order for them to see the light. They need to be plunged into darkness. And this is where you need to delve into the psychology of your characters. Figure out how they think, what they believe, where those beliefs came from. Ask yourself, why have they been holding on so tightly to these beliefs throughout the story so far? What makes this moment so pivotal that they have no choice but to change? Now, before we dive into crafting a unique dark moment for your character, I want to take a quick second to tell you guys about a special live training that I'm hosting this weekend, diving even deeper into the dark moment. This is one of the most crucial moments in your story, guys. If you don't get this moment right, your book will lack that amazing crescendo moment, that climactic confrontation that your character has. That journey of change will feel incomplete without this moment. So we're going to dive deep into it in this live training so that you can absolutely nail this in your writing. In this training, we're going to explore using a false victory moment to pack even more emotional punch with your disaster, crafting a character-specific disaster to upend your protagonist's life, the science of releasing old beliefs and accepting new ones, alternatively using a temptation moment to show you how your character has transformed. And all throughout this training, as we discuss these things, I'm going to show you side-by-side story examples from various genres, including how I leverage these techniques in my own novel, The Otherworld. We're going to dive into all of this and more in the live training, and I hope to see you there. It's going to be a good one because I know you all love to destroy your characters. So do I. The training is happening Sunday, February 2nd at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you can't make it to the live stream, don't worry, you can watch the replay as many times as you want. And actually, when you sign up for this live training, you will get access to the replays from all my previous live trainings, which is over 35 hours of in-depth teaching on all topics from writing to editing to publishing to marketing, so much more. Space is limited though, so make sure you click the link below super soon to save your spot at this live training. I think you're going to love it. This is part of my in-depth breakdown of the 3-act story structure that we've been doing for months. So if you're just diving in now, you can go back and watch all the previous trainings on the 3-act story structure, breaking down the hook, inciting incident, pre-midpoint reactionary hero, game-changing midpoint, post-midpoint action hero, and now we have arrived at the disaster moment. So get in the archive, watch all of those trainings if you desire, and meet me this Sunday for the live training on the dark moment. I think you'll love it. Okay, so let's get back into this discussion and talk about how to craft a character-specific disaster. So you might be thinking right now, Abbie, okay, all this sounds fine, this sounds great, but how do I make this disaster important to my character in a way that it wouldn't be important to anyone else? Start by pinpointing their fatal flaw, their misbelief. Like I've been saying this whole time, this is at the heart and soul of your story. This is the core behind everything, behind their whole transformation. So first, ask yourself, what have they been struggling throughout the entire story so far? What is this misbelief that keeps tripping them up and holding them back? This is going to be key in unlocking the potential of your disaster and dark moment. For instance, if your protagonist is a control freak, what would be a terrible thing to happen to them specifically? Maybe they're forced into a situation where they have no control over what's going on, and they have to confront their need for control. Challenge yourself to go beyond impersonal, generic disasters like a lost job or a car crash or something. Try to come up with something that is uniquely difficult for your protagonist to navigate. A personal catastrophe that shakes the foundations of their world. Instead of asking yourself, what disaster will happen to my character? Try asking yourself, what disaster specifically matters to my character in a way it wouldn't for anyone else? So for example, let's say you're writing a romance. Let's say your character's misbelief is, I can't let my guard down and trust someone with my heart. Maybe the dark moment would be that after gradually letting their guard down, the protagonist is devastated when their significant other seemingly betrays their trust during a critical moment, confirming their worst fears about vulnerability. And that would naturally lead us to an aha moment, where maybe later it's revealed that the perceived betrayal was just a misunderstanding and the significant other's actions were actually in the protagonist's best interest. This realization teaches the protagonist that true love is about trust and that those who genuinely care will honor that trust. Or let's say you're writing something totally different. Let's say you're writing a fantasy with a protagonist who's like the chosen one and they're a perfectionist. They want so badly to be the perfect hero. Okay, maybe their misbelief is, I need to be perfect. They fear that any flaw makes them unworthy of their role and incapable of fulfilling their destiny. So maybe the dark moment is that the hero fails spectacularly in an epic battle, an event they believe confirms their worst fear, that they are not only imperfect, but a failure. Their aha moment could be that through the support of their comrades, they come to understand that their worth isn't tied to perfection. Their courage to stand up again despite the failure inspires others and helps them to realize that being a good leader or hero isn't about being flawless, but about perseverance and moral courage. Or maybe you're writing a mystery thriller and you have a main character who is a detective who's scarred by a traumatic incident and believes distancing myself from others is the only way to keep me and my loved ones safe from harm. Maybe their dark moment is that the detective chooses to go it alone on a dangerous case, leading to a near fatal incident where they are left helpless, realizing that their isolation could cost them their life. And maybe their aha moment is that in the aftermath, it's the unexpected aid of a colleague that saves them, leading to the understanding that true safety comes from community and connection, not isolation. This epiphany allows them to open up and accept help, fundamentally changing their approach to both life and work. See how each of these scenarios are uniquely tailored to the protagonist in question and allows us to give them an aha moment that feels earned and believable and like a natural effect of where they've been. So try this exercise with your own characters, with your protagonist. Just write down their misbelief, their dark moment or disaster, and their aha moment. What is the light that brings them out of that tunnel, brings them to the end of that dark moment? Bottom line, crafting a compelling dark moment is about more than just putting your character through hardship. It's about setting the stage for a genuine, believable transformation. When you align this moment with your character's inner conflicts, you not only raise the stakes, but also ensure that the story's resolution feels satisfying and earned. If you're ready to dive deeper into the dark moment and make it feel as satisfying and transformative as possible, you definitely don't want to miss the special live training that I'm hosting this weekend. Click the link below to save your spot. It is happening Sunday, February 2nd at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I hope to see you there. We're going to unpack this whole story beat. It's actually kind of like 3 story beats because it's the false victory, the disaster, and then the dark moment. And we're going to also explore the option to have a temptation moment where your protagonist is offered everything they thought they wanted and they come to realize that they don't want it anymore because they've changed. So all of this and more we're going to discuss at the training. I hope to see you there. Space is limited, so save your spot below, and I will see you this weekend. Smash that like button if you liked this video, and be sure to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, because I would love to have you here in the community. And while you're down there, make sure you comment and tell me what you thought of this video. What is your favorite example of a disaster or dark moment in fiction or film? Or tell me about your disaster and dark moment that's happening in your work in progress. I'd love to hear about it. Best of luck crafting your dark moment, and I hope to see you at the live training this weekend. Until then, as always, rock on.